This is WaterparkRanger, and we're doing something a little different for this video today. As you know by now, all the videos so far have been about games that are at the very least still worth your time and attention. This game is not one of those games. I made this video in the hopes that after witnessing this train wreck, you will stay as far away from it as you possibly can. It being Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl for Game Boy Advance. Now, I know for a fact that 9 to 10 minutes won't be enough time to go over every bad aspect of this game, but frankly, I think that's more than enough time for you to understand that this game easily outdoes any of the series' villains in terms of villainous cruelty. For example, consider the music playing on this title screen. Sure, it's not even the actual Pirates of the Caribbean theme. Sure, it's just kinda repetitive, looping every 20 seconds or so. But what makes it really terrible is the fact that it later becomes the actual background music for some of the areas in the game, meaning that until you complete those levels, you will hear this music loop again and again. But if you think that's bad, wait till you see what they've done with the story. Let's give Barbossa a stupid-sounding voice to suit the occasion, why don't we?
Well, Jack, I'm afraid your career as a pirate has been a short one.
Yeah, he's talking to the guy in the blue bandana. That's Jack. Jack Sparrow.
I'm the captain of the Black Pearl. No one challenges my authority.
You're evil and cruel, Barbossa.
How kind of you. But sadly, there's no time for a pleasant chat. Get walking.
But... Whack their plank! Oh look, Buggy the Clown to the left.
Just like a real pirate.
As you guys obviously aren't. And look, the ship literally says Black Pearl on it. Look, this guy is supposed to be Jack. Jack Sparrow from the movies. Why are the palm trees purple? If I could light a fire, I might be able to attract a passing ship. Okay. I'll need to find some firewood, though. Like, there are so many things wrong with this intro that I can't even list them. I know we hardly covered them all. But this is where it gets really bad. This is where the game begins. Yeah, use the control pad to move around. There's a big problem with the control pad, and I'll address that in a moment. Basically, the problem is that none of the arrows do what they're supposed to do. If you go press the up arrow, you'll be going upwards, but at the same time you'll be going up and diagonally to the left. Likewise, the down arrow sends you downwards, but downwards diagonally to the right. So how do you walk in a straight line? By holding down the keys diagonally, of course. Makes perfect sense. Almost as much as a story. Now also, just look at Jack. Look at the way he runs. What person runs like that? Walk over an item to pick it up. Yeah, that would be a useful piece of information if we hadn't done that 5 times already, game. Now there should be an enemy somewhere around here. A giant crab. The sword is drawn when an enemy is in range, as you can see. Press A button for quick attacks. What it's basically saying is you button mash until the enemy drops dead. And am I the only one who finds it disturbing that the crabs scream like that when they die? Because it's pretty creepy. With those incredibly out-of-place giant crabs taken care of, it's time for us to go into the cave. So Jack, please cooperate. D-pad, cooperate. Thank you. Now we're inside a cave that looks somehow even less graphically appealing than the forest outside. Press B button to jump. Okay, so finally, Jack's nearly useless jump showcases its one ability to jump over those little hills. And I guess we didn't button mash quickly enough because we did get, I guess our foot cut off by that giant crab. I don't know what to tell you. Also, look at that sign! There's a giant hand on it that's pointing for us to go in the other direction, which doesn't really make any sense. And I'm not doing so well against these crabs. Not that I care. See, look, another sign telling us to go the other way. It's like this level was initially intended for us to go in the other way. Yeah, also the jump button is also the same as the climb button, so just hold it down and then Jack will do whatever he did right there to get over the wall. And come on, jump down. A little awkward, but it'll have to do. Some firewood! I can light a fire on the beach and attract a passing ship. So yeah, that log right there is the firewood. I don't know why it's inside a cave and not on a beach where, you know, there would be, like, wood, like from palm trees. Doesn't make much sense, and I just hate the congratulations message that you get. It's almost like the "You're winner" message from Big Rigs. Also, am I the only one who finds it incredibly odd that this game uses a password system? I mean, even the original Zelda on the NES could save. What is this place?
Well, now, there's the strangest question I've ever been asked. This is Port Royal, of course, the biggest British city in the Caribbean.
Port Royal, at last!
But who are you?
My name is Jack. I came to the Caribbean on a ship called the Black Pearl.
The Black Pearl!
You've heard of it. There was a mutiny led by a man called Barbossa.
Aye, we've heard the name Barbossa in these parts.
And now I'm penniless.
Well, if it's money you're after and you don't have no scruples about how to get it. Yes. There were 5 bags of gold stolen from the British garrison. All 5 have been hidden around town. Finders or keepers if you're a pirate, but watch out for the British soldiers.
So that weird old guy who looked like Santa Claus is the tavern keeper, and of course we all remember him from the movie, right? The story only gets more weird and just go from point A to point B from this point onwards. Really is nothing like the movie story. Hey, pirates aren't allowed in Port Royal, I'm gonna run you through! Despite the fact that he looks more like Indiana Jones, that guy there is actually like a Navy random guy, soldier. They're basically the same as crabs, so they take 2 hits to defeat. Also, note these things about the trees. You can't just go right around them, as you can see right there. You have to go around them at a weird angle, because this place is kind of glitchy. And also, this music is really annoying. So after I find the first bag of gold, I'm just going to cut to us finding the last bag. Yeah, potions restore Jack's health. One of the buttons brings up, like, an item select thing. And as you can see right there, I'm playing this on the Game Boy player, if you couldn't tell from the Z button options thing in the corner. Great use for such an amazing piece of hardware, right? First bag of gold should be roughly, yeah, there. So after I grab it, I'm going to cut ahead to us finding the last one. See you then. With all this gold, I should be able to afford something special. Hopefully a better game. Alright, now we have the 5 bags of gold. I cut a lot of time out. That took probably around 10 minutes because there is no map. You never get any maps for the actual areas. You have an overworld map, but that's not worth anything. And another useless password that we're never going to bother with. What have you heard about Barbossa?
Barbossa? It seems that him and his crew came to a sticky end. They were looking for some gold. They had bits of a chart, it seems.
That's right, but they don't have all the pieces. I smuggled it off the ship, but they have some of the other sections. So here's a world map. Also, I think Jack looks nothing like Jack Sparrow. He looks more like a melted action figure of a generic pirate.
What will you do now?
I bought a ship with the gold I found.
You're going to be a pirate!
Aye, aye, and there's plenty of merchant ships coming into Port Royal. I'd better hurry. So yeah, now we randomly go and kill merchant ships in our cruddy little ship here. Destroy the merchant vessels. I must say, the controls for this are absolutely horrible. It's all about how you fire the cannon that's really awkward. See, left and right on... Oh, never mind, that's just for turning. I guess soon enough it'll tell us about the cannons, because it never stops bombarding us with these pointless messages. So we have to find 3 merchant ships somewhere out on this huge ocean, which is supposedly just that water right outside Port Royal. Which is really not that royal of a port at all, it looks horrible. Though the water, admittedly, looks pretty good, I have to say, for the GBA. That's the one thing I would give it credit for. So there's a merchant ship. Now we have L and R, which will be for firing the cannon. It's not easy, though, because it's only... Okay, thank you for stopping bombarding me with messages. It only fires to the right or the left if your ship is going upwards. Otherwise, the controls are reversed. Plus, it's a really awkward arc that the cannonballs fall in, so it's very unlikely that you'll be able to land many successful hits on these guys. See, I'm having so much trouble just damaging this one ship. I will tell you that the furthest I ever got in this game was a sea mission, but I couldn't finish it because enemies start shooting back, like hardcore, and I just couldn't fight them. Alright, he got away, but I just cut ahead so that we could catch up to him. Yeah, if you go too far away from where you're supposed to be, then wind will blow you back. Also, I've got to say, the extra life icon looks really weird. Definitely doesn't look like Jack Sparrow. I don't even think it looks like the in-game character. It looks more like a trophy of Hulk Hogan or something. There we go. Alright, there are 3 ships. It'll take me forever to find them, so I'm going to cut ahead to us finding and fighting the last one, whenever that should happen. The music here is really creepy. It sounds more like Davy Jones' locker than Port Royal. See that thing? That's the... Did you see the extra life head? If you want to rewind the video just briefly, you see that the extra life head turns into a weird, like, Roman cherub that blows the wind at you. Also, I don't know what those little barrels are. They don't seem to do anything when you run into them, except release a weird green slime ball that flies up into the air. Oh, copies of Pirates of the Caribbean GBA. There we go. All the ships are destroyed. You're a winner! I don't know if we'll ever see any more videos of this game. I hope that I don't ever have to make any more. So the bottom line is, Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl for GBA is horrible. Stay away from it.